Hi guys, welcome to the little wood shop again. So this week is a upside down week, lots of small jobs to do. It's really finicky little jobs like this that we have to do. Cut for friends, rip some scales for knives, fix some bar chairs for a nephew, and then we must start with some table legs. In the back there I'm busy burning for Leroy some logos that a friend or customer of his put on their clothing items that they make, just little laser logos. So he gave me a few samples, and what I'm doing is by checking the laser intensity I can set that down what I get the best results or the best quality logo from. So lots of stuff to do. I'll show you this in a second. Let's get working. So on the logos that I've burned, this is one that Leroy burnt on his laser, and then I burned a few just to check what laser intensity is the best on the leather. So I started on 100% and went down gradually up to 70%. And I don't know if you can see, it's actually just the outline. The bottom word is a solid font, where the top is just outlines. And I would like to get the outlines to look not as smudged as that, so 100% is too high. So I decided that on 70% I get the best results, which is not too faint. In other words, it won't rub out. It's still deep enough where you can feel it and you can actually read the words nicely. So on this type of leather, the setting will be 4 meters per second and then 70% laser intensity. So guys, we have another order for 50 little trophy stands, and all it is I cut little blocks 40mm by 40mm. Then I put it on the router table and chamfer the little corners, and then in the center of this I cut a 2.9mm slot that they put the perspex with the printed stuff on. So I've got 50 of them to make. Coenraad quickly helped me. We cut all the stock up. I'm now on the router table busy routering the little chamfers, and on the other side Coenraad is busy making another snuff shooter. So he's starting with the basics on that. We'll show you as we go. So guys, quick update. The little trophy stands is chamfered and the little slot 2.9mm cut, all 50 of them. And the snuff shooter is almost there. Coenraad came up with a brilliant idea. We're going to give it a name, so we're lasering the name on it. This will be the Snuff Shooter 5000, written in Afrikaans, Snuff Shooter 5000. So that we're lasering on quickly. We'll show you just now what that's going to look like. And for the first time in my life that I've got this router table, I actually connected the vacuum to it. And I must say, I'll never work without it again, because it's much less cleaning. So another upgrade. So guys, the little trophy stands that we made for a customer is just a basic 40 by 40, chamfered on the corners, and then a 2.9mm slot that they put perspex in, which is got printed on. They paint these, that's why we make them from pine. We made 50 of them, and then I took 25 and Coenraad took 25, and we sanded each our batch, and then Coenraad will come pick them up by me tomorrow at work and then go deliver the 50. So that's another quick job done. I'm just going to wrap it now quickly, and then it's ready for delivery. So guys, that's now the Snuff Shooter 5000. Few upgrades from the last one we've built. We've on the end of the little flicker, or what you call this, we made little pods where they can put the snuff, so when they shoot it, it shoots straight up your nose. And then Coenraad will now just later put a magnet where the little tin of snuff is going to be. So it's a little bit of an upgrade from the previous one, and I think it came out amazing. The varnish we used is just a polyurethane aerosol varnish. Nice and quick drying. And I think it came out very nice. Back to the big door that we're building from Coenraad. Me and Coenraad is now almost done with it. Gave it a chamfer on both sides. Then routed every 125 millimeters. We routed a groove through just for aesthetics and to get close to the other door that they already got as a front door. We then stained it with a teak stain just to give it a reddish color, because they wanted a little bit more red. I then went and varnished it with the polyurethane varnish, but it's a gloss and we don't want it gloss. We wanted a matte finish or more a satin finish. So what I've done is I've now took a fine sandpaper, rubbed it to make it matte again, and now I'm just putting some of Leroy's beeswax on it. And if you can see what the color difference looks like where I've already put the wax on and where not, this wax really makes a huge difference. And of course seals and protects as well, in conjunction with the polyurethane. So I've put that part on up to here now. I'm going to finish the last piece now. Then I will leave it for an hour or so and then come and just buff the excess off. Then we should get that nice satin finish. I'll show you then. Guys, that's now the wax on. And then I just gave it a light buff. And I'll definitely tomorrow give it another little bit of a buff. But as you can see, it's not a gloss, but it's not a matte. So it's just a nice satin finish. Even on the sides, it's got a very nice finish. There you can see where I filled the resin hole, or the hole with resin. Came out nice. So the door is basically done. Just a little bit of waxing and everything that still to be done. This can go to Johannesburg on Friday. I'm just going to flip it over, do the other side the same, and this job is done. So guys, another project we're going to be working on now for today and the next week coming is little bar stools. The bar stools is for my nephew, who is a fireman, and that's something I would like to talk about. I've got enormous respect for firemen, ambulancemen, that type of people. Really people, I love them to bits. And it's an unforgiving job they've got. So guys, if you drive past a fireman or ambulanceman or any emergency personnel, greet them and be friendly, because they've got a very unthankful job. And you might need them one day. And I'm very fortunate to have a person like Zitz in my family. And this job is for him. So what we have to do, this was his old bar chairs that was in his little man cave, shall we call it. And he went and bought 4 new chairs from our local casino here that they replaced with new ones. These are just seats. The new ones has got seats and backs, but the poles are too long. So what we've done is, the first one, the person that installed them before he bought the house, they drilled holes into the concrete and chemical anchored rods into the floor, then put the plates over and welded it on top. So what I've done is I started grinding. I don't know if you can see that. I started grinding the welding away to try and get it off. And then Zitz, being a big strong guy, trying to pull the chair loose, they also had silicone in, which you didn't know, broke the tile. Sorry Zitz, we'll have to replace that tile. So what we've done then with the rest of them is we just cut the pole off of the plate. The plate is now still attached to the floor. We'll grind that smooth These I'm going to make now shorter by about 120 millimeters, and then fit the Lazy Susans. First we're going to clean them and get them neat and tidy. Fit them then to the top of this, and then the chairs to this. So first things first, guys, I'm going to remove all the tops. I'll have to replace this plate that I've ruined with a grinder. Luckily with the old chairs he's got very thick plates, so I'm going to cut a new foot plate out of that and weld it onto this. Shorten it, put the Lazy Susans on, and then we'll go install it. And then of course I would like to just sand this down and give it a proper coat of paint, because this paint is horrible. So that's metal work, which I'm not very good at, and I don't like metal work very much, but anything for a fireman. Let's start working. Guys, why can't things just be easy? I borrowed my cut-off machine, which you can see I don't use very often, because I'm really not good at metal work. I borrowed it to my neighbor and he set it at 45, and now it's stuck there. It's all rusted. I can't get the bolt loose, so I sprayed it now with some WD-40 to see if we can get it loose again. And my small little ratchet spanner is, as you can see, I've got stubbies. They're ideal for this, but I don't have enough leverage to pull on it. And yes, that's fast. So I'm going to pull out the big guns now, and hopefully that will get it loose. Nope. It looks like it's working. I suppose that's not how the tools are supposed to be used, but that's how we use it. This poor thing needs some attention. How do I know he's 90? Looks like 90 degrees. Get it as stiff as it was. That's 90. Let's see if we can continue with the job. So guys, I got this one cut square, as you can see, with a little square. It's actually quite square. But now look at this. Can you see that? This top is definitely not square. Let me see if I can get this on there. That is horribly out. So there's a new problem. Now I'm going to have to cut all of those off get those square, weld them back on, basically rebuild the leg. Otherwise this you're gonna see, and it's gonna annoy me all my life. So this is as far as I'm gonna get with this project for now. I'll do the rest a little bit later. So that leg really broke my speed now, so I'm not gonna continue with that now. I'll do it as I feel like next week and continue with that. The next thing, guys, these bearings are very manky. They are so dirty and so stiff. So what I'm thinking of is to just throw it in some degreaser, get all the old grease and stuff out, and then re-grease it. So please comment, guys, give me some tips on how I can clean this, or if I have to clean it, or if I must clean it. I really think it's necessary because they are stiff as they're not supposed to be. But I think what I must do is get some degreaser next week, let it lie in the degreaser for an hour or so, clean it, and then re-grease it. Will it work? So guys, another big day in the little wood shop. I upgraded my dust collection. I actually bought this dust collector. It's the DC 1100A from Jet, from second hand, from my neighbor. And I think it's quite a big upgrade. It's got a 1.1 kilowatt motor, 220 volts. And two of the things I like about the most is, of course, the canister filter. I also got with it the normal old bag filter, and then some spare bags. It goes in the bottom. I'll probably never use the bag because I've got this. I'm not going to fully install it at the moment because I would like to put a separator onto it. I'm still considering what separator to use, and if you have any opinions, please let me know. Remember, budget. I've got not such a big budget. So this is the vortex comb, and it's got its own separator in apparently. We'll test it and see how it works. And then the second thing I like about this is it comes with a remote control, which is actually a very big upgrade. So this is going to make life very comfortable here in the little wood shop eventually as we install it. First I'm going to get rid of the old CNC. This is going to go out. I'm going to move it away. This is going to go into that corner because the pipe that I've had laid under the concrete when I did the floor in this workshop, I've put a 110mm pipe to the center of my workshop where it can then collect dust from the table saw and then also the downdraft table. So the ideal for me would be to get it there because the pipe is there. Then the big old thicknesser, also Jet, will go next to it. And then the drum sander, also Jet, will go next to that. So everything with 110mm outlets will then be close to the dust collector. The smaller stuff, like you've seen the miter saw last week, we've put its own little dust collector on, or vacuum cleaner. And then also this week I upgraded the miter saw to its own vacuum cleaner or dust collector. The only thing that is then left in this workshop that needs dust collection will be my bandsaw and the lathe. The lathe I'm not really worried about because that thing is a messy thing. I can't see dust collection working on a lathe very soon. But yes, that's a very big upgrade, and can't wait to start working with this. So guys, like you've seen this week, we've done trophies. I've split some knife scales for a friend, lasered some logos for a customer. She wants 60 or 100 of them, I'm not sure. We'll do that. I'll give the samples to them, they can decide. And then we started with this metal work, which you probably noticed by now I'm not very good at. We also done the little Snuff Shooter, the Snuff Shooter 5000, which I'm quite proud of. Coenraad had some brilliant ideas there. He's gone with that, and he will deliver it to a customer tomorrow. I also had wood delivered for the legs that we have to start building next week. We have to do 10 pairs of table legs, and I think we've done some of that before, but I'll show you as we go. It's the cross legs that goes at across for functions and weddings and stuff like that. Also another customer. You've seen us upgrade the dust collection system. So now the miter saw has got its own dust collection. The router table has got its own dust collection. And hopefully we can get then the big jet dust collector connected to the rest of whatever tools we need to get dust collected. So a few upgrades done this week, and then also quite a few jobs, small jobs, been done. So it was a busy week. Hopefully next week we can get some more jobs done. So guys, stay safe, stay healthy, subscribe, and enjoy your week.